Welcome to the City of Maple Grove Report. I'm Dave Kaiser from CCX Media. Thanks for joining us, along with Heidi Nelson, Maple Grove City Administrator. Welcome once again.
Thank you.
We've got a meeting from the 7th to talk about, rather short meeting for the City Council, a work session ahead of that, and also we're going to talk about some events coming up in the city. Let's begin with the work session, and it sounds like this will be one of two that are coming about capital improvement plan. Again, remind us what that is and what the discussion was.
Yeah, so this is, like you said, the first of two meetings where we'll review the capital improvement plan, and this really projects out 2025 through 2029, so kind of a 5-year plan. And it really talks about all of the city's capital assets and any capital needs for those assets over the next 5 years. Some of our funds and some of our CIP sheets project out much longer, like our roads program is about a 30-year projection. So on Monday night, we were able to get through our building CIP, our various government buildings, and then equipment, all the equipment that we have for the city and the plan for replacement of that, as well as the park replacement fund and some facilities that still need a little bit more planning in the CIP to understand what the capital needs will be in the out years. But we were able to walk through all three of those and then kind of the associated funds that are related to that section of the CIP and how those improvements or maintenance replacement would be funded over the next 5-year program. So good to get through this and tie it out to our funding and identify, in some of our areas we're going to fall short in some years and we're going to need to address that, whether it's through, some increase to the transfer and the levy, that type of thing. Equipment costs continue to rise. Fire apparatus is very significant increase in cost there. And so we're trying to be very planful for those things over the next 5 years within this CIP. So lots of staff work goes into this in creating the capital improvement plan, and then certainly finance's role in tying that out into those special funds that are targeted for those capital needs for the city. So got through those three, and then on the 21st we're going to be focusing on roads and trails and talking about kind of the needs in the out years, as well as where that street reconstruction fund is sitting and how we want to address that into the years ahead. So good work on behalf of staff to bring that CIP forward and get some of this discussion done with the council.
Excellent. We'll give you the update about the second part as we meet the next time. To the council meeting, again about 23 minutes in length, a few items to touch on here pulled from consent. The first was proclamation of Fire Prevention Week 2024.
Yeah, so October 6th through the 12th is Fire Prevention Week, and this year's theme focuses around smoke alarms. Having working smoke alarms is key to fire safety in the homes. So helpful safety tips from the Maple Grove Fire Department can be found on the Facebook page, or the Fire Department Facebook page, and also in the city's fall newsletter. And we just recently had a fatal fire here in Maple Grove, and I think it's always a good reminder that this is a good time of the year. They always talk about it with the clocks, changing of the clocks here in the fall. Check those smoke alarms, replace batteries. Also a good time to check those carbon monoxide detectors, those types of things. And so, fires do happen, and we see that from time to time in our community. And so the danger or the risk is real. And so we really encourage people to take that take that seriously. And then, this is just a good reminder during Fire Prevention Week, this coming up week.
A little later on in the show, we'll talk a little bit more about the fire department connecting with the community, so stay tuned for that. One other item pulled from consent, and this was a proclamation declaring October 2024 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And again, a lot of work into this effort.
Yeah, and so we do have coming up this Thursday evening the community tribute. It's changing locations this year. It's going to be over at Central Park. 6 p.m. and then there's a memory walk at 5:30, but the program will start at 6 p.m. So that's Thursday, October 10th. And then during the month of October, Town Green will be lit up purple, as well as we have some lighting at the front of the public safety facility to call attention to domestic violence. We partner with Maria's Voice during this time of the year. Residents may recall that Maria was murdered by her husband here in Maple Grove in 2020, and her family has turned her loss into a nonprofit to help bring awareness and education to the issues around domestic violence. So we're doing a lot of, we have things in our newsletter, social media, billboards, those types of things to get the word out, let folks know there's help out there, they're not alone, and to reach out if you're living in a situation with domestic violence. So big, important effort for us this month here in October and every month. But one other piece that our police department is doing this year, and they've done it last year as well, is the Purple Patch and Mug program, and this helps to raise dollars for Maria's Voice to continue their work in the community. So you can buy the patch for $10 or the mug for $12, or if you buy them both, they're $20. Get a little discount if you buy them both together. Those are available for sale at the public safety facility, and I do note that a number of businesses around town have them for sale too. I was at Kingdom Coffee yesterday across the street, and they have them for sale there. So that just helps support the work that we're doing out in the community.
Very good. Moving on the council meeting now to the regular agenda. And there was a large crowd there for this one particular moment in time, oath of office for a new officer.
Yeah, so this was fun. Nana Pa was being sworn in as a police officer. She started with us in April and has completed her FTO. And so this is her formal swearing in. So lots of family there to support her. Very fun to see. It was her uncle, who also sort of is her dad, pinned on her badge, and he's in law enforcement with Metro Transit. So that was always a special event when you're coming from a family with some history in law enforcement. But she has a bachelor's degree in criminology and a minor in psychology from the University of Laverne, California. And just really excited to have her joining our team, and congratulations to her and her family.
Fantastic. Now to community economic development items, looking ahead with some staff reports here. Planning Commission coming up on the 14th, and it looks like it could be a rather full agenda. Yeah,
I think we're going to have 3 or 4 items on Planning Commission for the 14th, a couple of development projects, so more to come on that, but those things will then carry over to the October 21st council meeting as well.
Good. Other part of that report was grand openings. It's that time of the year where a lot of businesses are hopping into the fray. Tell us about some that opened up.
Yeah, so we have a couple ribbon cuttings on Thursday of this week, the 10th. Mama's Happy, which is a great new boutique right on Main Street. We're so excited to have another kind of a retail boutique storefront there. They'll have their ribbon cutting at 9:45 and then opening to the public at 10 a.m. Went and checked out their website. Lots of great kind of clothing, home goods, those types of things. They have other locations throughout the metro area too, so this is another location. And then later that afternoon, we have a ribbon cutting for Axis Precision, a new precision machining business here in Maple Grove. That'll be at 2:30, and they have an open house from 2 to 5 that afternoon. A couple other openings coming up. Grackle will be opening to the public on September 18th, so that's the next day on Friday. And then, or I'm sorry, a week later on Friday. And then Rally House, which is up at Maple Grove Crossings there, kind of in the Coles, Ashley Furniture Run up there, and that's kind of sporting goods and apparel, that type of thing. So we're really excited to have that sort of junior box space filled up there. So exciting time for the business community here this fall.
Yeah, welcome to all the new businesses. To Engineering Public Works, here's a note that you have to watch for if you're driving around the area. We've got a bridge that's going to be closed for a while, it sounds like.
Yeah, so unfortunately the bridge, 169 Elm Creek Boulevard Bridge here, was hit on Monday morning or Monday midday by a truck, and so it caused some damage to some of the girders and whatnot. So MnDOT is assessing the status of that bridge, and so for the foreseeable future, that bridge is going to be closed. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to kind of shore it up, and this is a bridge that's been on our radar for replacement for quite some time. So we'll see what MnDOT's plans are here, but might result in some reduced load restrictions there if they're able to get that back open with some modifications. But stay tuned to that. We know MnDOT is working as quickly as they can, and we'll keep our social media updated with any changes to that, as well as MnDOT. So it's certainly causing some disruption in the area. I think if people are northbound 169 and headed to Maple Grove, they're having to find a different route, and certainly that east-west traffic coming between Maple Grove and Brooklyn Park is impacted. So lots of impacts there. The main line 169 remains open. The ramps remain open. You just can't get across that bridge.
Got it. All right. Make sure you pay attention to that. To your update from the meeting, candidate forum occurred on the 8th, so just before we're recording this,
Yes.
and other forums coming up as well.
Yeah, so we had candidate forum last night for city council candidates, and so that is available on the CCX website.
Correct.
And also in our
The Cablecast,
Cablecast.
if you go to the city's website, you can click there to see about the candidate filings, and you'll find it right there, another link.
Yeah, so lots of opportunities, and you'll be replaying that on Channel 16 as well. But if you don't have access to that, lots of places online to catch that program. So that was last evening. And then we do have a candidate forum coming up for school board for District 279.
Right.
That is being held by the League of Women Voters, 6:30 on Thursday, October 24th. And that one's taking place at Brooklyn Park City Hall.
Okay.
But very similar. You guys will be covering it here at CCX Media, and then
Right.
that'll be out available for folks on the CCX website.
That is correct.
And city pages as well.
Right, final note from the council meeting, something else coming up, the park board tour. Tell us
Yeah.
about this big tour event.
Yeah, so on an annual basis, the park board and members of the city council are invited to go along, and staff to get out and tour a number of our park facilities, either that have undergone some improvement or renovation, or ones that are in need of that, and get a chance to take a look at that. So that'll be the evening of the 17th, just prior to that park board meeting. They leave the government center about 5, get back about 6:45. So great opportunity to get out and see some of our park properties in the fall.
There is your wrap-up of the meeting from the 7th, and again, we'll tell you about the next meeting in just a minute, but now a few other things happening around the city, and back to the fire department, fire prevention. They are busy with younger ones teaching fire prevention.
Yeah, so story time at the station. This is on Saturday, October 12th, starting at 10 a.m. Fire Station 2 on Maple Knoll Way, so that's just north of Weaver Lake Road there. Enjoy a fire safety story followed by a tour of one of the fire trucks. Visitors are encouraged to bring a blanket or a towel to sit on, as story time will be held in the apparatus bay near the fire truck. So great opportunity to teach kids about fire safety in their home.
And I'm sure they'll be talking about smoke detectors too,
Yes.
as the theme this year. All right, election, we mentioned the candidate forums going on.
Yeah.
How are things going from an election standpoint at the government center?
Yeah, we're busy. We're
bet.
voting about 150 people every day
Wow.
at the government center for absentee right now. So that's great that people are getting out to vote.
Yeah.
So we'll be continuing that service right through November 4th, the day before the election, and then of course conducting the full election on November 5th. So government center hours are 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, and then lots of information out there on the Maple Grove City website or the Minnesota Secretary of State website, resources about candidates, election information, hours. We do have some extended hours coming up here as we lead into the weeks to the general election, where
Right.
we'll be open a little bit longer. So more information available online about that, but encourage people to get out and take advantage of absentee voting prior to the election as well.
Very good. MapleGroveMN.gov, the website to find that information. Here's something you might want to listen up for. A rebate program coming up related to water. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so we did have a water efficiency rebate program. This is run in conjunction with Metropolitan Council that provided residents with an incentive for irrigation watering conservation. So residents that replace their irrigation systems with pre-approved parts could apply to receive a credit of up to $250 on their utility bill. For the 2-year program, the city had 167 residents apply for this, with rebates totaling about $25,000. So we're expected to see a reduction of almost 3.4 million gallons of water with this improvement program. So this program, we've been approved to participate for another 2 years, so it'll be running through 2026. So
Great.
if you're interested, lots of information available on the website about that program, just to help with water conservation with your irrigation system.
Very nice. All right, it is that time of the year where the leaves finally are coming off the trees, and that means one site in Maple Grove is going to be very busy. Where is that site?
Yeah, and we've had a lot of great fall weekends here to be
Yes.
doing yard cleanup. It feels like you should still be having summer flowers and mowing, but
Right.
it is going to come sooner or later here where we're going to need to be doing that work. So the Maple Grove Yardway site is open through the end of November, or as long as weather permits. If we get a heavy snow dump prior to that time,
Right.
sometimes that brings that operation to a halt. But you can bring grass, leaves, brush material, and there's no cost, just need to show your Maple Grove ID. And then, of course, that's located off of Maple Grove Parkway, just north of Highway 610.
Fall brings the leaves. It also brings some great things to the farmers market, and still a couple times to get outside for the market. Again, remind us when that is.
Yes, we have 2 outdoor indoor markets left here. Hours are briefer now, 3 to 6 p.m. because it gets dark a little bit earlier, but lots of great fall produce out there, including pumpkins, those types of things. So those 2 remaining dates are Thursday, October 10th and the 17th. And then on the 17th, the market offers kids the chance to trick or treat at vendor booths, so sort of in advance of the Halloween holiday. And then just want to extend our appreciation to Church of the Open Door for being such gracious hosts to the farmers market for this season. We will be starting with our indoor markets at the community center in November, and then back at the Church of the Open Door in the spring as we wrap up some of that work at the community center.
Okay, very good. Here's something neat to know about. The Maple Grove Skating School is a proud school in the city and is a very impressive one with lots of participants.
Yeah, so recognized by the Learn to Skate USA program for having 1,000 members enrolled in their program. To commemorate this milestone, the school will receive a recognition plaque. In addition, Learn to Skate USA has stated that the Maple Grove Skating School is ranked #1 in the state of Minnesota, 6th in the section, and 26th in the nation.
Wow.
So a very important program over at the Maple Grove Community Center. Congratulations to Maple Grove Skating School Director Mindy Pirich and to the many teachers and skaters in the program. And we just really love having their presence over at the community center, and congratulations to them on this recognition.
Fantastic. All right, back to the Leafs for a second and maybe a look ahead to the snow. And there might be some seniors in the community that need some help, and there's an organization that people can volunteer through.
Yeah, so Senior Community Services is an organization that serves Maple Grove residents. Things like leaf raking, snow shoveling, other types of chores, or household chores. You can go to seniorcommunity.org and see what the services that are offered there and sign up for that. Some of them are on a sliding scale basis, depending on the information that's submitted. So we do partner with Senior Community Services to help provide these services to residents in the community. And so if you're somebody who has some time on your hands and looking for a way to give back to the community, looking for that volunteer opportunity with Senior Community Services is a great way to do that as well. And you can go to their website to find those opportunities, seniorcommunity.org.
Very good. Final note today, we know Halloween is coming up, so kids and families with kids, listen up. There's an event in the city that is sure to have maybe a little candy.
Yeah, so we are doing the Trunk or Treat event on Saturday, October 26th. This is a very popular event that our community center staff put on with Maple Grove. I think Maple Grove community organizations involved as well. We're moving it this year because of the construction work that's underway over at the community center. So it'll be kind of that open lot at the corner of Main Street and Arbor Lakes Parkway, sort of just right out in front of Lifetime there.
Okay.
From 1 to 4 p.m. It's a free event for the community, fun activities, treats, and a costume contest to celebrate Halloween.
And it is impressive when you go. The decoration on some of the trunks and treats are amazing. So
yeah, and a lot of community organizations get involved. I know Rotary, sets up a trunk there, and the Lions, and it's just a great community event.
Yeah, hope people can get out. Heidi, thanks again for the update and all of the information about the city. Let's leave you with some information about the next City Council meeting. That will be on the 21st, 7:30 at the Government Center. And again, bottom left of the screen, maplegrovemn.gov, all of the information about the election and other things we touched on today right there. For Heidi Nelson, I'm Dave Kaiser. Thanks for joining us on the City of Maple Grove Report.